As usual, you see, I'll be discussing the basic concept of yoga. At the same time, we'll be practicing together. Yoga is basically wonderful and amazingly effective to make your life healthy, happy, fit, stress-free and peaceful. Yoga has got huge impact on us. It affects us physically, it affects us biochemically as well as psychologically. If we see, it lowers blood pressure, it gives energy and strength to your body, it improves your heart health, gastrointestinal function and respiratory efficiency. It improves your posture and balance. It promotes better sleep. It improves your coordination and reflexes. Gives strength to your muscle. Then, most important, it improves your body awareness. If we see biochemically, the most important thing, yoga brings balance of our neurotransmitter and the different hormones in the brain and in the whole body. It reduces blood sugar level and helps preventing diabetes. It lowers the bad cholesterol like low density lipoprotein and VLDL. It increases the hemoglobin level and improves the lymphocyte count, which gives us immunity, and it improves the thyroxine level. Then emotionally and psychologically, it is very important. It elevates our mood. It increases our attention, concentration and memory. It helps prevent stress and it prevents depression and anxiety. And one of the very important, you see, you all are the MBA student. You all are going to be the future leader. Yoga improves your EQ or EI, emotional quotient or emotional intelligence. We know the IQ. IQ is what? It's your intelligence. It's your intelligence and it is your technical and analytical skill, isn't it? But IQ is not all. Probably EQ is very, very important. EQ is very important component of effective leadership and it directly impacts the work efficiency. Emotional intelligence, basically it is your ability or your capacity to assess and manage and perceive the emotions of yourself and of others. Einstein told it was my EQ which made my theories. Where the IQ and EQ converge, that is the area of success and happiness. When a leader with a positive mind and attitude interact with the others, it creates a positive, helpful, cooperative work group and increase the productivity and efficiency. So that emotional intelligence flourishes within when you do yoga. Yoga also improves your self-acceptance. Yoga also improves your self-confidence. So these are the few benefits of yoga. First, let me introduce, I am the Dr. Ashish Chakraborty. I am the resident medical doctor of IIM Calcutta. Yoga is my hobby and passion. Now, what is yoga? Why I have been discussing? Because concept is very important, because you need to know what is yoga, why should you imbibe yoga in life, what benefits will it bring, and the science behind it. Yoga is not a sectarian practice, nor it is a belief system. Yoga is based on absolute science. Now, what is yoga? Yoga means union. Union with whom? Union with your own potential. Union with your life force that is within. Yoga is the science and art of self-discovery. Yoga means addition. Addition of what? Yoga means addition of energy, stamina, and beauty to your body, mind, and soul. Yoga is the alpha and the omega. Yoga is a very comprehensive term. It includes understanding of life. It includes physical exercise. It includes yogasana, asana. It includes deep breathing or pranayama, and mindfulness, above all meditation. Yoga is a very vast subject with 4 different parts. Every part deals with certain aspect of our life, and by purifying, it takes us to our inner hidden energy. Yoga, for yoga is karma yoga, jnana yoga, bhakti yoga, and raja yoga. Karma yoga deals with our body and karma or activities. Jnana yoga deals with the mind and intelligence. Bhakti yoga deals with the emotion, and Raj yoga deals with the energy that is within, which I have been talking about. But here we will be practicing some form of inclusive yoga, which incorporates the basic principle of all 4, which will help us to grow and progress while pursuing our daily routine life. Definitely, it won't be an imposition of some impractical discipline, but I will give you scientifically chosen 10 steps. I will be giving you 10 bullet points, no abstract words. If you follow, one step will take you to the another. Only one criteria, you have to give some time. No one can do it for you. For healthy, happy, fit and blessed life, you have to bring some time from your busy schedule. You have to make your life systematic. You have to make time for work and leisure. So please maintain an equilibrium of activities in life and make some time for yoga, fitness, and peace. So let us start. Our first point is maintain your body weight by right food and right calorie. Among the 10 bullet points, the 5 steps are related to behavior and preparatory steps, and the later 5 will be actual core yoga activities we will be practicing. So first is maintain your body weight with right calorie and right food so that your BMI remains normal. BMI, we all know, it is a body mass index calculated by your body weight in kg divided by height in meters square. And the normal BMI is 19 to 25. If it is more than 25 up to 30, it is overweight, and beyond 30, it is frank obesity. So for the right food and right calorie means restrict carbohydrate, have good fats like omega, moderate protein, and plenty of fiber. Add vegetables and fruits in your diet as much as possible. Try to have food rich in vitamin A, C, E and B complex. I am not going into the details of their sources that you can get from the Google search. These 4 vitamins are antioxidant vitamins which removes the free radical from our cell. There are few minerals which are also needed by our body in small amounts, but they are absolutely essential, like iron, calcium, magnesium, selenium, zinc. Try to expose yourself to the early morning sun so that our skin can prepare some vitamin D from the sunshine, which is very important for our immunity and important for the mineral absorption, mostly calcium and magnesium. We all should make endeavor to avoid overeating by chewing food slowly and properly. Our body is a biological furnace. More food and calorie will only burn it fast. So this is the rough sketch of maintaining our body weight, right body weight with right food and calorie. Second, maintain hydration properly, take adequate water to maintain the vigor and integrity of our cell. Third point is tobacco and drugs. In single sentence, quit tobacco, which is very harmful. Say absolute no to drug and reduce alcohol. Fourth is sleep. Never ever ignore the sleep. Sleep is one of the most important components of overall well-being. When we get up from a good sleep, it drives away fatigue and rejuvenate our whole system. In deep sleep, what happens? Our brain, pineal gland secretes one wonder hormone, that is melatonin. This melatonin has got anti-aging and anti-inflammatory property. If we deny sleep, those who deny sleep habitually, what happens? They fall victim to different diseases, including cancer. So 6 to 8 hours of sleep is absolutely necessary. Consciously avoid any obstacle around your sleeping hours which has got potential to stimulate your brain and prevent induction of sleep. So take care of your sleep. Fifth point is positivity. We have to remain positive and develop positivity in life. Positivity to oneself and positivity to others, because this is very, very important. We know this whole world is connected. This whole world is, we all are connected in the whole universe because it's a single energy field, and that has been proved by E is equal to mc square. Mass is nothing but the evolution of the energy, and energy is the involution of the mass. So that means we all are connected. If we show positivity to others, it is bound to come back to us in the same manner. Everyone in this life has got a need to be accepted, loved and recognized. And most important thing, let go of your past. Our mind either goes back to past or hanker for the future. Past is not important, it is already over, and should not hanker for the future which is yet to happen. The most important in our life is the thin present. This beautiful present, if we spend beautifully, mindfully, meaningfully and effectively, I can guarantee it will take care of the future also. So these are the 5 basic steps, behavioral part and the lifestyle management part. Now we will be doing the core yoga activities. Here are 5 points, 5 steps. Are you ready or feeling sleepy with lot of words? So it also needed, because you see the concept is very much important. So first point is physical exercise. Regular physical exercise is absolutely very important for fitness and stamina. That doesn't mean very strenuous exercise which can make us weak. Rather, for optimum health, we should have a regime of some stretching exercise, aerobics, and few exercise with resistance. There is a FIT formula. We have to follow the exercise according to FIT formula: frequency, intensity and time. Frequency means at least 5 times a week. Intensity should be such you can achieve 60% of your maximum heart rate. You see, I have been saying all these things because I am trying to project the science behind all this things. 60% of your maximum heart rate, maximum heart rate is calculated by deducting your age from the 220. If my age is 50, so my maximum heart rate would be 220 minus 50, that is 170. And I have to achieve 60% of that, that means around 108. But in overall, your intensity should be such you can feel your heart rate clearly and distinctly. And timing, if you are a beginner, for 10 to 15 minutes, you can increase up to 40-50 minutes. Here we will be practicing 10 minutes of aerobics and few stretching. Please get up. First we will be taking 5 deep breathing. We will inhale slowly and deeply from our nose and breathe out little forcefully through mouth. Start. Inhale through nose, then inhale your present, throw out your past. Inhale positivity, throw out negativity. Once again, one more. Take deep breath through nose, breathe out from your mouth. This is just to make you relax and bring your focus to the present. Now we will be rolling each and every joint clockwise and anti-clockwise. Start from the ankle joint. Right ankle joint. Clockwise 3 times. Anti-clockwise. Then knee joint. 3 times each. Then hip joint. Practice with other leg. Ankle joint, knee joint, hip joint, then lumbar joint, clockwise, three times, clockwise, then anti-clockwise. Shrug your shoulder. Then rotate clockwise. Anti-clockwise. Raise your arms. Rotate your wrist joint. Clockwise. Anti-clockwise. Bring it down. The neck, bend it forward, bend it backward, bend it forward 3 times each. Bend it backward, bend it forward, turn it left, turn it right, turn it left, turn it right, turn it left, turn it right. Then rotate clockwise, slowly, smoothly, without any jerky motion. Now we'll be doing standing bend. Just stand erect with 1 foot apart, both feet. Raise your both arms above your head. Take deep breath. While breathing out, bend your body. Try to touch your ankle or toes. You can gently hold your knee. Then inhale. And come back to the initial position once again. Slowly raise. Bend it backward. Bend it backward. Turn it to left. It should not be punishing. Whatever you can, bend it to the left, bend it to the right. Then we'll be practicing to balancing and stretching posture. First one is mountain pose, the same 1 foot apart, both feet. Raise your arms, make a finger lock, rotate your wrist, raise it above the head, raise your heel so that whole body is balanced by your toes. Stretch it as much as possible. Whole body, stretch it. Slowly come down. Once again, make a finger lock, rotate your wrist, raise your arms above the head, raise your heel, stretch it. Slowly bring your heel down and come back to the resting position. Then one balancing, it is called tree pose with same standing posture. Bend your right knee and put your foot high up in the thigh. Balance your body as much as possible. Then slowly raise both of your arms above your head so that the both palm can touch together. In India, this is called Namaste pose. Count 10 to 15. Slowly bring it down. Release your. Practice with other leg. Bend your knee. Put your foot high in the right thigh. Slowly raise your above your head. Both palms should touch together. Gradually. Very good. Enjoying? Enjoying? Now we'll be doing stationary jogging without changing the position. Ready? Start. Okay, carry on, carry on.
Hello.
Bring your foot to the ground softly and pump your arms backwards and forth by the side of your body. You can twist your waist. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Once again. Okay. Tired? We are basically, it's just, we did for I think 4 to 5 minutes. Now we'll be practicing in lying down posture. Please lie down. We'll be doing some cycling and sit up. Cycling, lie down on your back and with both legs do some cycling clockwise 10 times. This helps in reducing the body weight and stomach fat, abdominal fat. Anti-clockwise 10 times. Okay. Relax for a few seconds. Make a finger lock put it behind your head. Now do few sit-up, both the feet together. While inhaling, raise your body up. Slowly go back to the resting position. Once again. Your knee should not bend. So our physical exercise part is over. Yoga should be performed with full awareness, with full focus. Don't do mechanically. At the same time, you try to feel your body, your thought process, everything, so that it gradually settle down. And gradually you can prepare yourself for the higher step, ultimately meditation. Okay, don't sleep. Please, now will be, okay, stand up. So fastest of our core activities, first step is over, second is Yogasana. Yogasana, it brings good posture, it enhances flexibility and brings harmony between the body, mind and your emotion. You all have heard the Yogasana? Asana, few posture, few pose. You see, secret of health lies where? Secret of health lies in our head and spinal column. Why? Because head and spinal column contains the whole of our nervous system, isn't it? So more it is flexible, more it is malleable, you are healthy, energetic and disease-free. Asana, most of the asanas are directed basically to make our back flexible. Here we will be practicing few asanas which will make our back flexible, malleable, remove stiffness. Ultimately, it will make you sit in a long time for the meditation and deep breathing. So let's start. We will be doing first 3 sets in prone position. Okay? So you lie down on your stomach. This is Bhujangasana, or it is called Cobra pose. First you lie down, both feet together, bring your palm to your shoulder, arms by the side of your body, inhale slowly and raise your head, neck, chest and upper abdomen. Stretch your spine back as much as possible. Remain there for 10 seconds while breathe out, slowly come back to the resting position. We will be practicing 2 times each. Once again, while inhaling, raise your head, neck, chest and the upper abdomen. Bend your spine back as much as possible. Remain there. While breathe out, slowly come back to the resting position. Both Arms should go by the side of your body. Now, with the same posture, now both arms are touched with the body. Look straight. Raise one leg up. Stretch it as far as possible without bending the knee. Stretch it. Count 10 or remain there for 10-15 seconds. Then bring it back. Then practice with other leg. Same. Raise your leg. Stretch it as far as possible without bending your knee. Remain there for 10 seconds. Bring it back. Practice once again. Raise your leg. Stretch it. Slowly bring it back. Raise other leg. Stretch it. Remain there for 10 seconds. Bring it back. This is Ardha Thalvasana or locust pose. Third is called Dhanurasana or bow pose. With same position and posture, lie down on your stomach, fold your both legs and bring your leg little forward so that you can grasp your ankle by your hand. Slowly lift and raise head, neck and thigh together. Make it a bow pose. Very good. And arch your spine back as much as possible without bending your elbow. Remain there for 10 seconds. While exhaling, slowly come back to the original position. Relax. Once again, fold your leg, bring your leg forward, grasp both the ankle by your hand, raise head, neck and thigh together. Remain there for few seconds and slowly come back to the resting position. This strengthens and stretches your spinal column and improves the functioning of your intestine and pancreas, prevents constipation, and very good. These are the complete set, 3 sets, which bring immense relaxation to our whole spine. Now, next to asana with supine position. Are you enjoying? Hope you are enjoying. This is called Pavan Muktasana or gas releasing pose. So lie down on the supine position, both hands by the side of your body. Fold your leg, bring your thigh upward and forward, make a finger lock, put it just below your knee and bring your thigh close to the chest. You can raise your head also, or you can remain there close. Remain there for few seconds, then release your hand, slowly go back to the resting position. This strengthens the anterior abdominal muscle, abdominal organs, helps releasing extra gas from the intestine, prevents constipation. Once again, fold your leg, Bring your thigh upward and forward. Make a finger lock. Put it just below the knee. Bring your thigh close to the chest. Remain there for a few seconds. Release your hands. Go back to the resting position. Next one is spinal twist pose. Spread your both arms at the level of the shoulder. Bend your leg at the knee. Turn it towards the left till it touches the ground. Both knee touch the ground, and turn your head towards the right. So head and knee in opposite direction. Remain there for a few seconds. Come back to the middle. Turn your knee to the other side, towards the right, and head towards the left. Remain there for a few seconds. Come back to the middle. Do everything very slowly and try to look at your body from inside also. Again, turn it towards the left, both knee, and turn your head towards right. Remain there for a few seconds. Come back to the normal position. Again, knee towards the right, head towards the left. This spinal twist pose gives relief to the pain of your low back, hip, and different sciatica-like problem, and it improves the functioning of stomach and relaxes the muscle of your back, prevents stiffness of the back. Take rest for a few seconds. Slowly get up. Now we'll be doing one pose which is called thunderbolt pose, or here it is called Vajrasana. Fold your legs back, rest your buttock over your heel, absolutely stretch your body, look forward, put your hands over your knee. This prevents stiffness of your thigh and the leg, and very good pose which helps your digestive system. And this is one pose which can be practiced even after full meal. Breathe normally, rhythmically. Even lot of meditation and deep breathing are also performed with this pose. Gradually release your leg. Next is cow face pose. This is very effective pose in calming down the mind, and it frees our mind from anger, agitation and stress. Just spread your leg in front, then cross right leg over the left. Right leg over the left, just below the knee. Cross right leg over the left, just below the knee. Your foot should touch the floor. Sole facing upward and backward. Rotate both shoulder so that it can clasp together. Look straight. It improves concentration and very good pose for the student. Removes anxiety, promotes calmness. It strengthens the muscle of the hip, thigh and foot, shoulder and the chest muscle. Slowly release your hand. Release the cross. Practice with the other side. Now left over the right. Same way rotate your shoulder in opposite. Left over the right, that means your left elbow should project upwards. Both hands should clasp together at the back and look straight. Your back should be in a single straight line. Try as much as possible. Don't apply any force. Do it gently and keep your breath natural and normal. Look straight. Gradually release. Is it taxing? Is it difficult? We are almost one or two poses are left. Now we'll be doing little relaxation. This is called butterfly pose. Bend both your knee gently so that your sole can press together. Interlace your finger around the toes and position your feet little closer to the hip and move it gently like butterfly. It is very good pose to relax your muscle after prolonged sitting. After prolonged sitting. This is called butterfly pose. This you can practice at the beginning and at the end, in between, any time. Okay. Another 10-15 minutes because we started little late. So next pose is lotus posture, lotus pose. This is also called, in India it is called Padmasana. First spread both of your leg in front. Bend your right leg so that you can put your foot over the thigh. Then do the same with other leg. Bring your left foot over the right thigh. If you cannot, you can make it half. This is half lotus pose. This is full lotus pose. Left over the right, right over the left. And make a meditation pose by touching your index and the thumb or anything. You can just keep it like this also, but take this meditation pose and keep it gently over your knee. Breathe gently, slowly, effortlessly, and observe your thought. Relax. This is such a powerful pose. If you don't do anything, just practice this full lotus posture for 10 to 15 minutes a day. It will calm down your frenzied nerves and gives total relaxation. Then gradually relax your leg and practice with the other side. Initially, I put right over the left, now left over the right first. Even, you see, this is full lotus pose, this is half lotus pose. Even if that is not possible, you just remain comfortable, but try to keep your back straight. So, this is the, let us practice once again. Remain there for few seconds. Keep your hand in meditation pose. Breathe gently and effortlessly. Thank you. You are doing extremely well. Now our last asana, slowly release. Our last pose will be Savasana, or it is called dead body pose. This is for ultimate relaxation of our whole system. This is basically performed after the end of our yoga practices, or you can practice it in between also. So lie down on your back. This is just relaxation. Lie down on your back, feet little apart. Stretch your arms and the hand little away from the body. Palm facing upward. Close your eyes. Breathe effortlessly. Throw all responsibility and worries and relax every system consciously. This can give you a power nap without sleeping. And within few seconds it can drive away all your fatigue and give you and renew your energy instantly. Just relax. Slowly raise your body. So far we did our physical exercise and asana. Next I will be saying few words for the good posture, importance of good posture. You see, for the meditation and pranayama or deep breathing, posture is utmost important, so that you can keep your back, a spinal column and head in a single straight line. Because even physically also good posture, it relaxes and drive away the stiffness from your joint. And this good posture means you should be able to sit erect firmly yet loose. Why it is very important? When we sit with right erect posture, what happens? Energy channel opens up through our different nerve plexus inside the nervous system. You see, in nerve plexus, in yogic word it is called chakras. The awakening of chakras, but these chakras are nothing but the different nerve plexus inside the nervous system. There are coccygeal plexus, sacral plexus, lumbar plexus, heart plexus, cervical plexus, hypothalamus pituitary plexus, and the pineal or cerebral plexus. You see, I basically put lot of insight with my medical knowledge in the yoga. So when you maintain the right posture, there will be awakening. When this energy channel opens up, our life force, which can move freely from below upwards through the nervous system and give energy and healing force to each and every system. So now we'll be doing little deep breathing and meditation. As usual, you can sit with the full lotus posture, half lotus posture, or simple comfortable posture. Only try to maintain your back, spinal column and head in a single straight line. That is the prime requisite. If we do pranayam or deep breathing or meditation in a crooked posture, it harms. That is the most important thing. So try to keep your back straight. Now we'll be doing deep breathing. Science of deep breathing: when we inhale deeply, it gives extra oxygen to our cell. When we breathe out, when we exhale deeply, we throw out extra carbon dioxide from our system. When we hold our breath, it gives a pause to the cellular respiration, thereby giving complete rest to the cell. This is the science behind the deep breathing, and when we do deep breathing rightly, it rejuvenates the whole system, gives energy, stamina, alertness, whatnot. So normally our breathing is little bit erratic and irregular. We'll be doing some rhythmic breathing. How it is that? We'll inhale with 12 count and we'll exhale with 12 count. Okay? 5. Inhale with 12 count. Exhale with 12 count. One more. Now we'll be doing the alternate breathing technique. This is Anulom Vilam, or that means inhalation or breathing is done through the one nose, one nostril, and without holding, throw it from the others. Close your right nostril, take deep breath from the left, without holding, close your left and throw it out from the right. Then immediately inhale from the right, throw it out from the left, inhale from the left, throw it from the right. Thumb is used to close your right nostril and ring finger is used to close your left nostril. So do once again. Inhale from the left, inhale from the right, throw out from the left. Next we'll be practicing one humming breath technique. It is called Bhramri. The word comes from the humming of the black Indian bee. It is very good breathing technique to bring calmness in your whole system. So put your thumb over your ear and your index finger over the forehead. Thumb over the ear, index finger over the forehead. Close your eyes, gently, and by other three fingers cover your eyes. Thumb over the ear, index finger over the forehead, by other three fingers close your eyes. Take deep breath through your nose. Breathe out from the nose, but while breathing out, make a loud humming sound. Inhale deeply through nose, while breathing out, make a loud humming sound. Once again, take deep breath. Don't open your eyes abruptly. Slowly remove your fingers. Slowly open your eyes. These two simple deep breathing we practiced, and this can be practiced in an unsupervised way, absolutely harmless. You can practice for 5-10 minutes regularly. You yourself now can feel your body, mind and full system is now quite calm and quiet, and something must have changed. Your framework has changed from inside. Now your whole system is ready for the meditation. That is the ultimate step of any yoga practice. See, meditation is not concentration. Let me tell you a few lines. Meditation is absolute relaxation. Absolute. Meditation is not mind game. Rather, it happens when the mind dissolves. In ordinarily, mind is basically, it is a mixture of conflicting thoughts. It may be the polar opposite thoughts related to different dream, desire, mood, memory, projections, aspirations. So that's why mind is always restless. It jumps from the one idea to the another and keep giving us the new challenges which make us run to achieve that. And energy is wasted in different directions. But when we meditate, the same mind will become intelligent, aware, alive and equanimous. It is like if you take a glass of water from this lake, of IIMC lake, it will be turbid water, isn't it? So, the light cannot pass through it. Full of mud and suspended particles. Now keep it for 1 hour, 2 hours. What will happen? The mud and particles will settle down, isn't it? And leaving the crystal clear water at the top. Then the light can pass through it. So when we meditate, our confused and conflicting mind, it settles down. Then only the light of wisdom can pass through. So that is meditation. And how you enter the meditation? That is mindfulness. You just sit straight and quietly. Close your eyes and visualize first your body. Visualize your body from within, your leg, your trunk, your abdomen, both arms, head, your eyes, everything you can visualize. The beauty is whenever you observe, it becomes calm and quiet. Then you try to observe your conflicting mind. Observe the polar opposite thoughts. Only condition, don't fight. Some are good, some are bad, some are pleasant, some are unpleasant. Just observe. Don't get carried away with them. Don't become one with them. Just observe and let it pass through you. Everything will pass and go away like a floating cloud in the sky. If we continue this meditation, first our body, then our mind will settle down. Later on, the peace and tranquility will enter into us. Then more we practice, that this peace and tranquility will become rock solid. And our inner life force will awaken and flood our own being, whole being with total well-being. Flood every cell with energy, health and well-being, physical well-being, mental well-being, nutritional well-being, social well-being, emotional well-being, psychological well-being and spiritual well-being. Then only you will feel happy and satisfied 24/7. You will be feeling happy, not that the problem will not be there. Happiness is not the absence of problem, it is your ability to handle the problem. So when you meditate, when you do yoga, your ability will increase. You can feel that you will no longer be troubled by the stress. It doesn't mean the stress factors will vanish. Your adaptive capacity will increase. Your capability to absorb the stress will increase. A huge reservoir of peace will arise within you. Then only you will be able to realize that events of life are like weather. Sometimes it is rain, sometimes it is sun. And you will be able to feel that problem and difficulties of life are as natural as our breathing. And you will be less and less affected by the trials of the ordinary life. So gradually mental well-being will come and you will be very balanced and natural, positive human being. Slowly, then we'll rub our fingers, rub both hands, make some warmth, put it over your eyes, feel the warmth, gradually open your eyes. That is all about the today's yoga session. Thank you very much to all of you. I feel you all enjoyed. So let us end this session with a small prayer. You please say the few words. Let all the things be happy. Please, let all the things be happy. Let all the things be peaceful. Let all the things be peaceful. Let all the things be blissful. You can smile little bit. We should smile together, because you see, smiling is the firework of our soul. It is absolutely free. It gives plenty of oxygen to our body, isn't it? So thank you very much once again. Thank you.